Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Main Event Sports Show. I'm your host, Brian H. Waters. This show, of course, is brought to you live right here on Haps TV. I think we're gonna see. We're gonna see how the day goes. I might come to you live after every game. We're gonna see how I feel, quite honestly. As the Buffalo Bills. Do you call it an escape? Do you call it a win? Let me know, what do you think as they defeat the Indianapolis Colts 27-24. Buffalo getting it done at home. To me, when I watched this game, what I saw Josh Allen going out there doing his thing, why he is proving why the Bills are in this position that they was, right? You know, they were 13-3, 7-1 at home, and Josh Allen played big time to prove why he was there. Shout out to Lucia tuning in. Thanks for watching. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, early in the game, I'm like, the Colts have a chance. They have a chance to win this game, but what are they going to do, right? You go back to the first quarter. I didn't get any clips for this. Sorry, y'all. I know that's what y'all used to on the Main Event Sports Show. But like I said, it was, kind of a rush job. But you go back to the first quarter, Buffalo, they jump, the Colts went up 3-0. Buffalo would then take the lead. Colts had a 10-7 lead and an opportunity. They was right there in the red zone, an opportunity to go up 17-7. On fourth down, the difference right here at the end of the game, they went for it, and Michael Pittman Jr. with a costly drop. So when he dropped the ball, that allowed pretty much the Bills to stay in it. They would then, they would have the lead at halftime, 14-10. But right there, I said, look, it's the playoffs. You got to take the points where you can. This is the road. There is no next week. It's win or go home. Thank you for the award. I appreciate that. There is no next week. You got to do that. And there was, quite a few drops from, and I don't know if I got the stats for drops, but I know Jonathan Taylor dropped a crucial pass that was like third, and he had a lot of open space, and I don't know if he was anticipating a hit or he was just thinking, you know what, I think I can make this move. And a lot of times I see with most of the time with running backs and some younger receivers, they anticipate their next move before they have the ball secured. So that's one thing right there. I'm just, I don't know, y'all. I ain't gonna lie. Like, I was rooting for the Colts. I predicted that on the A&B Sports Show last week. And there's Mike Patton listening. Mike, if you want to jump in, I'll send you the link. I'll send you the link, and then if you can, you just hop on in. He says Frank Reich made a rush decision with that 2-point conversion. Yeah, and look, folks, I know I say this all the time because I don't think a lot of people do. I play Madden. So where's the invite button? Did they change it? I play Madden. Not gonna say like, oh, I'm the greatest Madden player. But okay, my bad. It was Hines. I knew it was a running back though. I knew it was one of the running backs. And Mike Patton is going to join in here, so I'm going to go ahead and send him the link. But I know when I play Madden, I make mistakes. It's going to happen, right? But there are certain things you just can't do. I'm not getting paid millions of dollars to play Madden. Let's be real. I'm not getting paid millions of dollars to play Madden. I'm playing Madden for fun. I might go online and play. And there are times where, if I'm playing in a season mode, most people play season for stats. And there's Mike. Somebody put my headphones on so I can hear him. Most people play season for stats. So I may go for it on fourth down. Mike, thanks for joining, man. How you feeling?
Feeling just fine. Actually took a nap during some of this game. So.
Well, it was just, I was talking about, you brought up the rush decision on that 2-point conversion. I thought it was too soon. It would have been a 7-point game. They was trying to make it a 6-point game.
Yeah, but Frank Reich's known for that, though. He's known for doing stuff like that makes you scratch your head and wonder, what is he doing?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just getting cute at the wrong time. This is the playoffs. And then, like I said, a lot of opportunities. And then I thought they was gonna come back down. I gotta talk about this play. Wide receiver catches the ball, Pascal catches the ball, gets back up. They said he was down. I didn't think he was down. Most of Twitter didn't think he was down. What did you think?
I thought he wasn't down either, but I think the officials are trying to save face and not be the deciding factor, and that's why the decision was made.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. You don't want the playoff game to end that way. But I don't like the rule. And this is what I don't like. I don't like that there's supposed to be no challenges within 2 minutes, right? But you
Right.
can call a timeout that will essentially tell the refs to challenge the play. I don't like that at all. I think that if they wasn't going to review the play after that, if I think if somebody calls timeout, then it's not reviewable. I think that's how the rule should go. If
Well,
the ref,
yeah,
huh?
you're right. That's how it should be. But of course, any coach and player is going to find a way to maneuver or obstruct that and make it
Mhm.
where it goes their way.
Yeah, and I get it. I didn't like it at all. I'm like, why would y'all do that? It just don't it's cheating the system. But in this situation, they wasn't going to review the play. Don't review the play. Keep it going. They made a boo boo. Thank goodness, because who knows how that Bills Mafia would have acted. But thank goodness the game did turn out that way for the sake of the refs. But I thought the Colts had a chance to win this thing. But one thing, Mike, I noticed, and this obviously is the Ravens fan in me talking, who could be going to Buffalo next week if Cleveland pulls off an upset and the Ravens do what they got to do tomorrow, right? The biggest thing I noticed was the run defense. How in the world would they, and even if they had to play the Titans eventually, right? How in the world would that run defense was horrible today? 163 yards. Hines had, 6 rushes for 75 yards. The longest was 33, average of 12.5 yards a carry. Okay, take that with a grain of salt. 3.7 yards for Taylor. That's not, most people like to get around fours, 78 yards. But like I said, total Pittman, 11 yards. What do you think about the run defense? You somebody, who pay attention to a lot of the intricate details. That's the reason why I always tune into your show. A lot of intricate details. What did you think about Buffalo's run defense?
Well, Buffalo was who I thought they were in terms of rushing defense. I don't necessarily look at them as a great rushing defense in terms of stopping the run.
Mhm.
And they basically did what I thought they would do. The Colts have been better as as the season's gone on with running game, Jonathan Taylor and Naheem Hines, which what surprised me is Naheem Hines ripped off a few good runs, and usually it's the other way around, Jonathan Taylor does. But that surprised me. That didn't surprise me today. And if they have to face the Titans or the Ravens, there could be some trouble for the Bills. Even though the Bills have an explosive offense with the with the passing game, they could have some trouble defensively. Definitely.
And then one thing, like we talked about, and when we previewed the Ravens Titans game, the thing that's going to be important is controlling the clock. And if the Ravens prove that they can control the clock when they want to, you can't be explosive. Josh Allen can't be explosive on the sideline if he can't get in the game.
That's right. That's right. If you limit possessions for any offensive team, it basically is going to limit their points, one, and it's going to make them a little tighter offensively in terms of, thinking about, hey, I might not get any more, I might not have as many times with the football, so I'm going to have to make this one count. And some players react to that greatly, others react to that and get tight. Josh Allen's the
Yeah,
guy that gets tight.
yeah, and shout out to our good sister Ashley Baker. She did a "Let Me Say This" video, so you already know it's a hot take coming. She says, and I'm gonna put the tweet. I'm gonna quote this
I've
tweet.
already seen I've already read it and listened.
I haven't listened yet. I talked to Ashley on the phone during halftime. Um, I'm telling her right now on her Twitter at Ashley Baker _21. Um, and I'm telling her, I'm tweeting at Brian H. Wars, I'm issuing a rebuttal
Hmm.
to this right now, because quite frankly, she said she don't see anybody else in the AFC that can beat that can beat the Bills.
Did she forget that the Buffalo Bills got beat down by a Titans team that basically was missing players due to COVID-19? Did she forget that?
Uh-huh.
I mean, literally beat them down in basically over at Nissan Stadium downtown Nashville.
Well,
Yeah.
too, I think what happened with Buffalo was when they peaked, everybody looked at them as they're really hot, right?
Mhm.
Um, and granted, I'm not a Bills fan, so I look at their schedule. They lost that was the close one that they lost to Arizona. They lost to the Chiefs, obviously, and like you said, they got beat down for their biggest loss of the season, mind you, 42-16 to the Titans. One would say they beat the Raiders, the Dolphins, and the Rams early in the season. One would say maybe they didn't find their mojo yet, even though the Rams didn't at that time either. But then you look at they beat Seattle, which we saw Seattle lost some games that they should have won. They beat the Patriots. They beat the Chargers. The 49ers aren't who they used to be, and same with the Broncos. But then the Steelers game where everybody I think hopped onto the Buffalo wagon, even though that Steelers team, in my opinion, was falling apart. And that's why I think people are starting to look at this as, oh yeah, they're not gonna, nobody can beat them, nobody can touch them. But Indy was right there. It was in their hands. Indy had it and they dropped it. They let them off the hook. And like I said, yes, okay, some bias. I know where the Ravens' struggles are and I know where their peaks are. I'll even say this year was a better year for them. And John Harbaugh has said that they they felt that adversity where last year everything was going so high and they didn't, and they overlooked Tennessee. They're not overlooking Tennessee tomorrow, but if they have to face the Buffalo Bills, I don't see the Bills stopping 4 running backs plus Lamar Jackson.
Right.
I mean, you're looking at Lamar, that's already a tough task. You're looking at J.K. Dobbins, Gus Edwards, Mark Ingram, and Justice Hill. How you gonna stop all of them? And I know the issue. You could flip it around and say, well, how the Ravens gonna stop Stephon Diggs and Cole Beasley? They're gonna have to get physical with him. So I mean, that's obviously something. But I do think this Bills team is beatable, and I think if they play the Chiefs, it's definitely it's definitely gonna be a different matchup. That's for sure. I don't want
Right.
to see that in the AFC Championship game for obvious reasons, but I definitely think that. I think the Steelers. I think the Steelers could beat them. I don't think they would, but I definitely think Tennessee could beat them because I think they can control the clock, and I don't see nobody taking down Derrick Henry.
Well, I hear you there. Oh, just sorry, I was listening, and I also was paying attention to news out of from the football team.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, Alex Smith is inactive with a calf injury, and Taylor Heineke will be starting tonight.
Oh my gosh. Breaking news right here on the Main Event Sports Show from my brother Mike Patton. He said it. No Alex Smith tonight. What does that mean for Washington?
Oh boy, that means Antonio Gibson is going to be readily available. I think he should be at least readily available to catch short dump passes, and that the Washington football team defense is going to have to be superheroes, especially their front seven.
Yeah, I'm just tweeting this out at Mike Patton 82. Just inform me that Washington football team will be without Alex Smith. You know, they got to go get a quarterback.
Yep.
they got to go get a quarterback. Um, it's shout out to Ted Hicks. Appreciate you coming in. Shout out to Darius Montgomery, Uni 54, Mudik
That's
300.
that's my guy Darius, man. That's my guy. If you need any type of fashion advice,
Okay.
suits, thing like that, yeah, Darius got you.
Darius
He's
is
got
the man.
style. He definitely got style.
Okay, and congratulations! Shout out to Haps. They pulling in these Facebook comments.
Right, right.
Oh, did I do something? Do you see everything normal? Because I think I clicked something.
Now I'm looking at it. I'm looking at the comments. I see the comments coming through.
Oh, okay, I was wondering if the video. All right, cool. Yeah, I think I clicked, but yeah, so the thing about Washington. I said this. Yeah, Alex Smith 6-1 since starting, right? Honestly, could be 7-0 if the you look at the coaching in that game with the Lions. It was something Ron Rivera did. Shout out to Glenn Thomas. He constantly reminds me something the Lions didn't. They I think it was an extra point or a ball they shouldn't have kicked it or something. Should have kicked the. I think it was something where they should have kicked the touchback. And then we all know Chase Young had the pass interference that led to the Lions winning. They could be 7-0. But the thing is, Alex Smith wasn't a 7-0 quarterback during that time.
Right.
You know, he was, in my opinion, he wasn't bad. He was manageable, but he made a lot of bad decisions. And Darius asked, was Haskins really that bad? Absolutely. Haskins
Yeah.
was. I don't like to use the cancer word to a locker room for obvious reasons, but he never matured, and that's the frustration. I'm going to speak at it from the racial standpoint, right? When you see a black quarterback get an opportunity, and you got another black quarterback, a legend, who's telling you, giving you the essentially the keys to the kingdom, the keys to success, saying, look, you need these coaches already are not, you're not their guy. So be in their heads, make sure you're listening and be at practice before them and suck up all the knowledge you can. And you're not paying attention. That's a problem. When you go out there and play the game and you're not doing what you're supposed to do on the field, that's a problem. On the field, you watch the games, there was opportunities where Haskins just looked lost, and I'm talking, and I was somebody who covered the team. I worked with Fox Sports quite a bit this year in CBS, and I did utility work. So I watched the games from the sideline, and I would get frustrated. I'm not even a Washington football team fan, but I'm like, dude, you got a guy right there. Why aren't you going to him? Why aren't you utilizing your running back? It's like if he couldn't get Terry McLaurin, he was lost. And that's the thing that frustrated me with Haskins. He had legs. He could use them. He was fast. Like, he wouldn't really run until the fourth quarter. And by then he would make a bad decision. And so he had a silver platter right there for him. The defense won week 1. They were down 14-0 at halftime, I believe, 14 or 17-0 or something. And they came back. The defense created the turnovers, and that made it a short field. This would be a miracle tonight if they win the game, especially with the backup quarterback. This would be their fourth starting quarterback this year.
Oh man. Yeah, rotate the quarterback. Oh boy. But yeah, as far as just put a cap on Haskins. Haskins definitely had his opportunities. I've talked to Karita Parks, who covers them for the 3-point
Shout out
conversion.
to Karita.
Yeah, Karita does good work, and you know, she talked about, and actually just listening to her talk about it on different shows. I mean, Haskins had a lot of chances. He had a lot of chances to do what he needed to do. Of course, he came in as being the owner's guy and not the coach's guy in both instances. And so he was up against it both coaches and both coaching staffs. However, he had plenty of opportunity to do what he needed to do to get the playbook in to make those decisions harder and for them. But he never did. He could have played better. He could have studied. He couldn't have had the other issues off the field with them trying to find him after the last loss he had before he got cut. I mean, those type of things to go along with bad play cannot happen.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, absolutely. This is man, oh man, it's gonna be interesting. Seattle and the Rams are on right now. So I was playing Madden last night, and what's cool is with video. So there's a lot of issues I have with games today that we we didn't have. So, for instance, right, you play video games still, or are you away
I
from it?
I do not.
Shout out to let me see, Kane. What is it?
Can we start
Kane
again?
West. You said Kane West. You
Yeah,
said
West
what?
start again. Or can we start again? 40. Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. It's always funny when the words are like jumbled together. Um, Shout out to them watching Bill's Mafia. But I was sitting there. So one of the things I don't like with the video games nowadays is that when you put a game in, it's got to update. Sometimes you can't buy a game. You come home, buy a game, and then play it. A lot of times you got to install it. You got to wait an hour. Sometimes it could be 2 hours. That's one issue. But one of the cool things is with these updates is that the playoff scenarios are already built in. So if you go on Madden and you go to play now, they'll have like the wild card graphics and it's got all the teams. So I played with um Washington versus Tampa Bay. And if you want to watch it, it's on my YouTube channel. I ended up losing. I think I lost by a touchdown or I lost by a field goal or something. It was a touchdown. And it was a game I could have won. I gave up. I threw a bad interception that turned into a pick six early in the game, came back to haunt me. But one of the things they had was they had Seattle winning this game 31-21. That was the part that was interesting. I think they did have the Bills winning. So um, I think we mentioned this, but do you have a dog in this fight? Who you like to win this one?
Even before if Goff was or wasn't going to play, I still had the Seattle. I was about to say Supersonics. Goodness, Seattle Seahawks winning this game. I mean, I can't see Russell Wilson losing this game at home against a division rival. I just couldn't see it unless
Mhm.
he did what Ashley Baker said that Sierra should do before the game.
Oh
No,
boy, oh
yada
boy.
yada up in here.
Well,
No,
they said he gonna need his legs.
no.
I think that's what Joy Taylor kept saying. He gonna need his legs, which I believe she is broadcasting this game on the Amazon and Twitch. So if y'all out there, check Joy Taylor out. It was something you said before we get out of here because you brought up Seattle. You said Supersonics. Did you get a chance to check out the sit down interview with Gary Payton and Sean Kemp?
I have not got a chance to check that out. Man, I need to find that somewhere. I bet that
It's on,
is
it's
gold.
on YouTube. I'm gonna send it to you. Um, Man, that's a duo people don't talk about. We grew up watching it, but that's a duo that a lot of people haven't. They obviously they talk about Jordan and Pippen, Stockton Malone,
Right.
Drexler, and Elijah Wan. But I think those two kind of get left off a lot of times, and maybe it was because of the reason they left, the way they left, or whatever.
Well, they definitely do, but I'll never forget all the plays where Sean Kemp dunks on somebody and he's pointing right at him. Yeah, that's gold. Watching his
Yeah.
highlight people. And what's funny is when he wasn't playing, I was reading somewhere when he wasn't playing for the Seattle
Mm-hmm.
Supersonics, when he wasn't actively in the rotation, he'd leave the games and he'd go play pickup games in the city of Seattle.
Oh
And
wow.
eventually they had to stop him from doing so because it was creating so many crowds and things like that. But yeah, he would go play pickup games in Seattle when he wasn't getting playing time.
Yeah, I just DM'd you the link on Twitter. I
Okay.
think it's a two-part. I might only watch one part to be honest with you. But yeah, check it out when you get a chance. It's really good. Like I said, I enjoyed it. I rooted against them. It was like everybody else. I was a Bulls fan by default. So, but it was still fun to see those two guys just sitting down having that conversation. It makes you wonder what could have been. And I think the NBA duos is something that's fun. I really hope the NBA TV could kind of keep this series going or stuff. I would obviously love to see one with Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen. I don't think they ever do it, but I would love to see that. Uh, you know, um, Joe Dumars and Isaiah Thomas, Stockton and Malone, even though I don't like Karl Malone, but still, I think this stuff is pretty good.
I got some issues with Karl Malone. It don't have anything to do with NBA. He
Bingo. Bingo. But
he was the mail, but he wasn't I should say delivering the mail to to the householder, I should say.
Exactly. But I'm gonna let you get out of here, bro. I appreciate you coming on. You know, it was great. Let's see what happens in the rest of these games. I might hop on later. What about you?
I might hop on later. Or I don't know. I got a little bit of writing to do, and I got some classes I got to take tonight. So,
All right, cool. Let the people know where they can catch your articles and catch you on social media.
well, you can catch me on on social media at Mike Patton 82 on Twitter, and I did an article this week on the Titans talking about the best defense is ball control offense for them, and that's on the 3-point conversion.com. And this the number 3-point conversion.com.
Awesome. Ladies and gentlemen, that's Mike Patton. I'm Brian H. Waters. As always, I appreciate you tuning in. Congratulations to the Bills. First win in playoffs and first postseason win in over so many years.
25,
Huh?
25 years.
Yeah, you said 25 years?
Yeah.
Yeah, so congratulations to them. I don't want to see the rematch of the possible Music City Miracle. Obviously, that wouldn't take place in Music City, but we still don't want to see the rematch here in Baltimore.
It's 20 years. It's actually 20 years since that too.
Yeah, I remember that. Where were you? I don't think we talked about that.
I turned the game off when that happened. I literally was not watching when that happened.
For
I
real?
Yeah, I was not watching. I turned the game
Wow.
off, it's over. They lost, and I looked up and I turned back. I was like, "Oh my god, what happened?" I kept seeing the replays like everywhere, and I was like, "Wow, I just missed that. I
So
just
that
missed."
was the controversial lateral, right?
Right, because honestly, what happened was, if you would have gone by the body of Kevin Dyson, he
Yeah.
was he was in front of the line. But if you watch the ball went right down the line. So that's where I
Wow.
think the difference was. They were going by the judgment of the ball. And
Mm-hmm.
funny thing about Kevin Dyson now, he's actually a principal at a middle school around in Franklin, which is like
Wow.
not outside of yeah, he's a principal of a middle school outside Franklin. Yeah.
Have you talked to him? Have you thought about getting him on the show?
No, I haven't reached out to him yet, but I'll reach out to him, and definitely he's a what I can say about him is boy, oh boy, I got a funny story about playing flag football against him. So yeah.
Got you. Yeah, I remember, I remember you brought that up the other day. But cool. All right, bro. Appreciate you tuning in and hopping on. Everybody, Brian H. Waters here. Follow me on all social media platforms and enjoy the rest of the games. Be safe.
Hey, breaking news for you, man. Before
Uh-oh.
you let go, Wolford is down and Jared Goff is warming up.
Well, everything just happening right now. Let's get to football, man.
Oh,
Yo,
man.
catch us on Twitter. Catch us on Twitter. He's at Mike Patton 82. I'm at Brian H. Waters. So long,